Hello friends, I have started a video series on translation process. In my first video, I discussed about the overview or concept of translation. And now I'm going to start with three important stages of translation, that is initiation, elongation and termination. But before that, in this video, I just want to discuss two important things with you which is necessary before starting initiation and remaining stages of translation. And the concepts are Obel hypothesis and tRNA charging. Okay, before going into the initiation phase, the tRNA which is present in the cytoplasm of the prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell must first get attached to the amino acid. Okay, and the process in which tRNA get attached to the amino acid is called as tRNA charging. While Obel hypothesis is another hypothesis which is very important to understand when we are considering elongation phase of translation. So what is Obel hypothesis? The hypothesis was proposed in 1966 by Crick. Okay, and according to this hypothesis, uh, one tRNA can recognize more than one codon. Okay, means we know that there are total 61 different colons which is functional in prokaryotic cell. And someone may think that for recognizing 61 colon, 61 tRNA should be there with complementary anticolon, but it is not the case. For 61 colon, nearly 30 to 32 tRNAs is present in the prokaryotic cell. These tRNAs recognize 61 codon. So obviously number of tRNA is very less when we compare with the number of codons. So how it is possible? How tRNA, a single tRNA recognize more than one codon and deliver amino acid in the translation process? This question is clearly solved by Crick by proposing this Obel hypothesis. Okay, so according to Obel hypothesis, one colon can be recognized or one tRNA recognized more than one colon. Okay, so as an example, I have take four different type of colon which is present on mRNA. The colon are GUU, GUC, GUA, and GUG. Okay, these four colon are functional colon and they are present on the mRNA. Now, the tRNA which attached to the colon code valine amino acid. Valine. We know that this is the hairpin model of a tRNA which having 5' end with guanine and 3' end with CCA sequence. Now this tRNA have valine at a 3' end and the anticolon loop of the tRNA have opposite to G, C, opposite to U, A and this A. Okay, so when this tRNA get bound to the GUU codon, the 3 hydrogen bonds will be produced between G and C, 2 hydrogen bond between A and U, and 2 hydrogen bond between last base pair. Okay, and when such base pairing are formed during the translation process, this valine amino acid enter into the process. Okay, that means due to this perfect pairing, the valine amino acid can be delivered into the polypeptide chain by this tRNA. Okay, if such pairing is occur, it is called as perfect pairing. Perfect pairing. Okay, surprisingly, this tRNA also get attached to GUC. How it is possible? Because this tRNA having anticolon CAA, while this colon having sequence GUC. So 3 hydrogen bond in between G and C, 2 hydrogen bond like this in between A and U, but this is not a proper pairing. A cannot pair with the C. Okay, and this position is called as Obel position by Crick, or this base pairing is called Obel pairing. Okay, we know that this is mismatch. tRNA, this tRNA when attached to the GUC codon, first two position, this is first position, this is second position, pairing is accurate, but in third position there is a no pairing. Okay, when such thing happen, till tRNA deliver valine. Okay, so when such thing happen in the translation process, till this tRNA is able to deliver valine, that means this third position is not important. If the first two position match, then ribosome going to accept this amino acid from the tRNA. Same thing happen here. If I draw the structure of this tRNA on this codon, valid, then CAA, here in between GC 3 pair base pair hydrogen bonds were formed in between AU2, while this pair remain oval. That means no pairing in this third position. Okay, similar things still valine will going to deliver by tRNA, and in the third case same tRNA with a sequence CAA, perfect pairing, no pairing. Okay, so in the first case, perfect pairing occur, while in this three case, no pairing occur at third position, no pairing on third position, and this third position is called as oval position. Okay, and if this happen, till ribosome accept this valine amino acid from tRNA, and because of this thing, one tRNA, this is the same tRNA, one tRNA can recognize four different codon, and this is called as oval hypothesis. Okay, so because of the oval hypothesis, approximately 30 to 32 tRNA able to recognize 61 codon in the cell, because one tRNA is able to recognize more than one codon. Okay, this is the first thing that I want to explain in this lecture. Now the next point is tRNA charging. Okay, what is tRNA charging? tRNA charging is the process by which the tRNA get attached with the amino acid. We know that tRNA is a transfer RNA, and to take part in the translation process, the transfer RNA must have amino acids on its 3' end. Okay, so in the cytoplasm, before entering into the translation initiation phase or translation elongation phase, tRNA first get attached to the amino acid, which is called as tRNA charging. Okay, so second point of this video is tRNA charging. Actually, tRNA charging is very important because all the tRNA which is present in the cytoplasm of a prokaryotic cell must get attached to the specific amino acid, and then they can transfer that amino acid to the ribosome. Okay, tRNA charging is generally carried out by two different steps. Okay, that means tRNA charging is completed inside the cytoplasm in two stages. First stage is attachment of the amino acid to AMP. That means before connecting amino acid to the 3' end of the tRNA, amino acid must be get attached to the adenosine monophosphate. It is called as adenylation of the amino acid. How it is happen? Okay, here I am drawing structure of amino acid. Okay, we know that central carbon in the amino acid attached to the hydrogen R side chain. This is the N terminal and this is the C terminal of the amino acid. This is the common structure of amino acid. Okay, in 20 different amino acid, this R chain will going to change. Other group will remain same. Okay, if this is the amino acid, so at the time of tRNA charging, first this amino acid get attached with ATP molecules. So we have discussed about the structure of ATP in my nucleotide video. Okay. So ATP have pentose sugar, that is 5 carbon sugar. To this pentose sugar, 3 phosphates are attached. Okay, and the fifth carbon of the pentose sugar have 3 phosphate, while the first carbon have adenine, that is purine nitrogen base, and this is the structure of ATP. So in the first step of tRNA charging, ATP molecule react with the amino acid. Okay, in this reaction, this O or oxygen atom from the carboxyl group of the amino acid show nucleophilic attack on the alpha phosphate. This is alpha phosphate, this is beta and gamma phosphate of adenosine triphosphate. Due to this attack, the bond get break and these two phosphate, beta and gamma, release in the form of pyrophosphate. 2 phosphate release, and now this COO group will going to attach to the alpha phosphate of ATP. So now the structure look like this. Pentose sugar, having phosphate on the 5 prime carbon, and now this is adenine. This phosphate get attached to the amino acid like this. Carbon, hydrogen, R side chain, NH2 and C double bond O. Okay, and due to this attachment, amino acid get AMP group. Now due to release of these 2 phosphate, adenosine triphosphate convert into adenosine monophosphate, AMP. Adenosine nitrogen base with single phosphate. Okay, and this AMP now have amino acid attached to it, and this is the substrate for tRNA. Because tRNA cannot directly bind to the amino acid, tRNA require adenylated amino acids. All 20 different type of amino acid undergo this reaction before binding to the tRNA. Next step of the reaction, this amino acid will going to directly transfer on the tRNA. The next stage of the tRNA charging was catalyzed by an enzyme called amino acyl tRNA synthetase. Actually, this is the enzyme which having 3 active sites, 3 catalytic site which bind to 3 different substances. Okay, so if this is the structure of amino acyl tRNA synthetase enzyme. Okay, in that case, enzyme having 3 active site. First active site attached with ATP. Second active site get attached with tRNA, amino acid, sorry. While third active site get attached with tRNA. Okay, so in the first case, this ATP get attached with amino acid to form amino acyl monophosphate form. Then that form then transferred to the tRNA by the enzyme. So in the next step, what happen if this is the tRNA? Okay, the anticolon loop of the tRNA, anticolon loop having anticolon on it. This is the 5 prime end of the tRNA with a guanine and 3 prime end with CCA sequence. So now this amino acid transfer itself from AMP to the adenine of the 3 prime end of the tRNA. In this process, to understand the process well, I'm going to draw the molecular structure of this base. Okay, so this is phosphate of the backbone of the chain, which is attached with pentose sugar. Okay, and now this pentose sugar have adenine base. Okay, this is the structure of tRNA. Now we know that this pentose sugar having 5 carbon, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Second carbon having OH, while third is also having hydroxyl group. Okay, so this oxygen will going to have nucleophilic attack on this group, hydroxyl group, and then in the reaction, AMP molecule release. Okay, and this amino acid form bond with the third hydroxyl group oxygen. So now the structure of tRNA become like this: O, C double bond O, central carbon atom of the amino acid, hydrogen R side chain and amino group. Okay, in this way now you can see tRNA get attached with the specific amino acid. This enzyme amino acyl tRNA synthetase can perform the proofreading also. That means ribosome generally in the translation process do not check the authenticity of the amino acid which is bring by the tRNA, but actually the process of proofreading is carried out by this enzyme. This enzyme is very specific for binding amino acid to the tRNA. In very rare cases, wrong amino acid get attached to the tRNA, but maximum time selected tRNA get attached with the specific amino acid, and now this tRNA is ready to enter in the initiation and elongation process with amino acid. So in my next video, I'm going to discuss about initiation of the translation in detail. Thank you.